beautiful humans. If you're enjoying this video, do me a quick favor. Give it a thumbs up. It really helps more magical folks like you find this channel. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and tap the little bell so you don't miss any of the adventures, wisdom, or wild stories coming your way. Trust me, it only gets better from here. Oh, and drop me a comment. I read every single one. Let's keep this conversation going.
Welcome to Sudowrite with Manon. Housekeeping. Video camera off for YouTube channel. Microphone off to keep back noise off. Raise your hand or with the word question in the chat.
Wait a sec, I think I was on mute. Anyone heard me talking or anything?
Nope.
Okay. All right, let's start that over. I just realized my microphone was off. So quick start, writing children book on Sudowrite.
Welcome to Sudowrite with Manon. Housekeeping. Video camera off for YouTube channel. Microphone off to keep back noise off. Raise your hand or with the word question in the chat.
Any question? So you heard the music at the start during we were
Yes.
working. Okay, so if I mute my microphone, you can hear the music in the background, but not, okay, perfect. Thank you, that's good to know. All right, I am Manon, author, publisher, and life coach. Why I write children books and how. Round one. This is my first book I wrote from the series of 52 books, which obviously is not finished publishing yet, but this is the first one I wrote, Tales from the Muse. Why I'm talking to you about this book. That story, the very first story in that book, The Adventure of the Magical Pillow, that story is about me. That story is me when I was a kid on how I was going to bed and playing with my teddy bears. So the bedtime story crew, the Captain Monkey, the pink teddy, and the blue teddy, and you. Welcome aboard the dreaming ship. Welcome to Storyteller. Again, I'm Manon, and before I ever type a word, I was already a storyteller in a bed full of stuffed animals. Every night I flew through cloud kingdoms, battle bedtime pirate, and navigate ocean of chocolate. Right along my crew, Captain Monkey, Pink Teddy, and Blue Teddy. Today, they're still with me, and now, with Sudowrite as our magical co-pilot, we'll show you how to bring your own childhood wonder to life. As a little girl, bedtime was never just about sleep, it was a launchpad for adventure. With my monkey and my two teddies tucked in around me, I'd fly through the clouds, sail stormy ocean, and even battle the occasional pirate. Every night was a new episode, a new story, I told myself before I drift off to sleep. Decades later, I discovered Sudowrite, and it was like meeting the adult version of my childhood imagination. It doesn't replace the magic, it amplifies it. So now I write stories that come from that same place, heartfelt, imaginative, and full of wonder. And I use Sudowrite to help shape them into something kids can read, love, and maybe even dream about themselves. Round two. By the end of this class, you'll know exactly how to use Sudowrite to create a story that works for your target age group, with strong character, a clear structure, and a playful, age-appropriate language. Quickly explain the three main categories. All right, picture book. For the young age, 3 to 6 years old, about 300 to 800 words. Super simple language, heavy on visualize. So as you know, they like to see the picture, and when the parents read the book for them, they always use a picture. It says, look here, look that, look at the apple. The next one in our category is the early reader. 5 to 8. Normally the book goes from 800 to 2000 word. Still simple, but a bit more plot to the story. And then we come to the chapter book, the middle grade book, 7 to 12, depending on how you write. Sometimes it's 7 to 13. You can decide on how you feel better. You can chat with ChatGPT on figure it out. There's different way of go about it when it comes to the age. More development and character arc and dialogue to those books. So they are the chapter books. Round 3. What age group are you writing for? You can put it in the chat for me. What kind of group are you aiming for? You can also unmute and tell us about it. 8 to 11. Thanks. Thank you, John. 9, 13. 7, 9. Good. So you're pretty much all in my ballpark of group I like to work with. Someone's having his microphone open. Can you mute that, John? Answer in the chat, we did that. All right, let's start right away inside our Sudowrite. I'm going to share with you my documentation. So I'm going to pop this down. I'm going to keep this. So this is the Google document, and I'm going to switch the share to the screen. I think I probably should have put the desktop instead. So let's share this. So this is our Word document that we work with today. So it has a welcome and a bit of guide. I also put down my favorite link in the bottom, so you can read that as often as you want on your own time. The next tab over here, am I sharing the right screen? Everyone see the right information? Yeah, okay, good. All right, and these are my little note for today's class on what we try to follow to go through this class and information. So let's get this on that. So first, we did a welcome, the age group, and one thing, what was my question here? Give me a story. That's for the Sudowrite part. So we have the Google one. Build a friendly character for 10 minutes. What is a friendly character when you write children stories? How do you find a character? How do you know if the kids will like the story with your character? Any idea on how to figure it out? Anyone? So what I'm going to tell you is about my character then. As I said in my startup, it's my three teddy bear were my main character when I was a kid. And as I grew up, they stayed with me. And today, when I go to my series of book that I'm writing, Twinkle's Big Dream, I have my favorite character in my series of book there. And it's a story per night, so it's a 365 stories total. That's going to be there, maybe even more. And I know I have my Amber, which is my little dragon, which in the first story, she's no bigger than a pumpkin. And she followed me all along in the series of book. And I have Brave Little Knight, I have different dragon, I have unicorn, I have lilies, Max. I have all my little heroes, which are with me at all time. And they are on my walls. I'm talking to you, I'm looking at my walls, and I can see the series that I pin on the wall with my book covers. And I also have a binder, which each story has all their title with their little image. For each chapter, there is an image. And behind that, it's all my character and the location where they are. So I always follow my character along. So that's how I get to know my character better, fall in love with my character and talking with children. If you're lucky like me and you have grandkids and you have a lot of cousin and uncle which has children and you have a chance to speak with them and read the story to them and they tell you if they like the character and the story plot, that's a really, really big plus. This is one of the places where I really like to know if my character are children friendly and if they are lovable, relatable to them. Can they become a hero or heroes for them? So this is how I got to go with my character. Just a small way of going about it. There's tons and tons of way to do it, but that's the way I go about mine. Any questions so far? A little older than the kids. Yeah, and then most of us, we're still children at heart. So if you like your story and you can relate that, you like to read that story to your grandkids or your brother and sister kids, then that also gives you an idea that it's a good start for you to have those books and those characters going. The next things for little story for children, the plot structure made simple. So introduce 3-act children's story frame. Very, very simple. There is a setup where you introduce the hero and the problem. And the second one is the adventure, where the hero and the problem goes to, the obstacle, the fun, the twist, the friendship they built in the story. Because most children's story, there is that person or the children or a teddy bear or an animal, whichever it is, that start as basically nothing and then end up into something which make it grow, make it says, oh, okay, I better take the step forward and work with that. And then the adventures start, and that's where all the fun happen. And there's always a resolution, a satisfying resolution, a uplifting ending. It's not one of those adult one where you can finish that. Not everyone live and be happy forever. It's a children's book that has to have a good ending. So that's one other thing. The age appropriate and the language style. This is going to be into the class. I will go there. Main consistency first. All right, so let's get this one off. Let's go to the next page. The next tab here is the POV. I gave you a board to go to and when my Amazon talk for me sometime. All right, so this one is the POV. It's a board simply to say the age group 3 to 6, the picture book, early reader 5 to 8, chapter book 6 to 9, middle grade 8 to 12, and a bit more information here, but also give you the best POV for this, the best tense for that age group, why does it work, and an example. So this is something that I like to go back and forth when I write story to remind me that I'm not writing for an adult. Just go back here and check. You don't have to adhere exactly to that information. Once you have a story, and I will show you how I do that, you go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, put a sample of your story and says, is that the best POV? Is that the best tense for the story for that age group? And sometimes you can be surprised that ChatGPT says, well, not for that story. That story will be better first person present tense because da 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 da. So I like to go through that information and make sure that I have the right information for the story I'm writing about. So this is a bonus for you to have here and play with. Now, let's start with the main play, Sudowrite. So I got all my information back here. Let's close down a few things here. So you see that, perfect. So everything I just talked about, it's also here. Now, you see that before I switch the screen, it says, give me a story idea for a 6-year-old about a lonely balloon who learned to make friends. This is a simple command to ask. How would you do that? So you go and says, I have a little story, I have an idea. So ask Sudowrite to give you an idea if you don't have already a story in your mind. So just to have a base to show you, this is what I did ask Sudowrite, and ChatGPT says, I have an idea I want to write about a balloon. And I'm going to show you with the same story how to go from a picture book to the second one, which is the more advanced bit readers, and to the chapter books. So you'll see both of them. Is there any question in the chat that I can answer yet?
David asked, he's not sure if his 12-year-old boy still wants to read about dragons. Even my 8-year-old isn't into that dragons anymore. Shouldn't the heroes be more realistic characters they can identify with?
I still love dragons, and I know my brother too, and we are 50, over 50. So I think it depends, not every boys is the same. We're all having different tastes. So to me, best thing is to ask the boy in question. And if you're writing for your children or for your grandkids, ask them what they like to be having for story. Because for me, when I write, some people ask me, why do you write? I says, do you write to make money? And I'm looking at this, says, no, I'm sorry, I'm not writing to make money. I'm writing to leave a legacy for my grandkids. And they always look at me and says, oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that way, but I do. So for me, the story that I write is about all my grandkids, which I'm going to have a boy eventually. Right now I have 3 grandkids, and they are girls, and they love all the story that I'm writing. That's an apple, a dragon, a unicorn, a little knight or a princess, a king, a queen, a prince. They all love them. So they are really, if you write just for one kids, then just write for that kids, David. It's really up to you.
Good answer.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see what I did here. I got that thing that I asked. So here's the question I asked, and I asked that to chat. So everyone knows Sudowrite. Do we have anyone new? Normally I ask a question at the start and I forgot to ask a question. Anyone totally new to Sudowrite and has no idea how to navigate? If you're new, just put yes in the chat or 1. If you're really advanced, put 10. Okay, so we have Zoom user, you're brand new. So this is, it's not a class for starter, but it's a class where you can start writing books, and it should not be too hard for you to follow. So hopefully you'll be fine inside this. All right. So this is basically, once we get inside Sudowrite, I got, this is the home page. And for me, I have a lot of class and sessions. So I have these class here. Basically, you create your own, you create a new project, and then you can start writing. So if I did go and create a project, I call it Note 1, and that's where we are. So in my Note 1, I get my information for this class, which I share with you, and I will share even more. So just hold on to it. So chat. I did go in a chat. I need to remove this from my views. I can see. I got into the chat and I asked that question. Give me a story idea for a 6-year-old about a lonely balloon who learned to make friends. So how we do that? Take that question, and you see when you highlight it, you have that quick edit. Or for me, it's like, they don't give us on how to get it. They normally do. For me, it's like the Command K, and it's going to pop up. So this is what I did here. I did get this quick chat. And now it's getting my quick chat. So you can see here that I asked the question, and this is the new way of getting to the chat, by the way, and your history. So the chat here is going to give you the answer to my question. So it says, how about this? Right there. Once upon a time in a colorful park, there was a bright blue balloon named Benny. Benny floated around the park all day, watching children play, but felt lonely because he didn't have any friends. One day, a gust of wind blew Benny into the tree, and he got stuck. As he struggled, he caught the attention of a group of playful squirrels. They decide to help Benny. Down and in turn, yes, John?
I just had a question. Do you have anything in your story Bible, or are you just working with chat at this point?
Just chat at this point. And I will show you how I'm going to get that story Bible to transform. But I start with just one question in chat. And I will share that in the same time. Here you go. Where is that chat? Chat, there we go. So this is the chat that I got with chat. So I got a small idea. It's not very long, it's just a small idea. And it's telling me, what do you think? And you can keep going when you get to that question. It says, okay, I like the story, but I like to change the name. So you can go back and forth with chat. Absolutely no problem. And now we can save our chat, which is even more fun. So knock yourself out on that one, because it's very, very finally got that part going, and it's fun to play with. And it doesn't cost anything unless, let me get this, you move this little.
As long as you don't turn on higher quality. Yeah.
Exactly. If you turn this on, you're going to use credit. But this, like this here on off, it's free. And just don't forget to put it on quick chat. And then you can have fun for free for quite a long time, as far as I know. So I got this one here done with chat, a small idea. So, okay, that's good. The next way to go about it, there's a few ways to go about it to get an idea. You can also go first draft. First draft. Same thing here. Give me a short idea about, this is the same one that goes in the story here. As you can see, the chat and history. So in the story, you can see the first draft. So in the first draft, I said the same question. Give me a story idea for a 6 years old, da-da-da-da-da. So how'd that work? Just to make sure that everyone knows how to use first draft. First draft only work on a blank document. So you go on the new, click blank. You're going to get a blank untitled in the bottom here. You go in the plugin section, click on the down arrow, go all the way down, and you can see first draft. If you don't see it, that's because you have something written here. If you have something written here, it's not blank. So get a blank one and click on first draft. Once you get on first draft, you get a few series of information that you can try for fun. And here, I have to go get my little sentence. So give me a story idea. Get this off. Story idea for a 6-year-old about a lonely balloon who learned to make friends. And you just click go. There we go. Then it's going to give you a short story. Normally it's short. Sometimes it can surprise you and make a fairly long chapter book, like one chapter story, which can be long. You never know. It's a surprise. Do you ever try to put a maximum word in first draft and get it, John? As you can see, we're at 500 words.
I have not been able to get hit a word count like that. No.
No, okay. Yeah, first draft is really first draft, and he does what he wants.
Yeah.
Let it finish. That's the one thing which I would like to show you how thing goes, but the generation can be very long sometimes. So with 900 words, So for a chapter book, you'll say that's going to be way too long, 1,000 words sometime. And that's where the next step, which I'm looking forward that Sudowrite is going to put out, is the editing. We're going to have another part here, which is called edit. So when you finish a story, you're going to be able to click on that. And when that happens, there's a prompt that I put down in my edit, which I ask the AI to reduce the story by 50% and make it as a picture book. And that worked very well. It helped to tell first draft that you don't want a story, that the prose. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. Yes, or ask for report this 10 idea or ever the pitch. So there's a couple of good information in the chat right now. Thanks, Kat and John. Usually don't get a long chapter that way. Yeah, well, this time I really go to town with my little idea of story with a little balloon. And I don't like to waste words. It's not like I can come out. As soon as you come out, it stop writing.
Well, we're almost done. We're floating high in the sky.
Good. And from this story to the other story, because the first story is Benny the Balloon. I wonder what the name of this one going to be. Oh, we have Tim Up. So this one called Tim instead of Benny. Then we have Buddy, Mr. Snuggles. And it keeps going. Now becoming a chapter book right there. Wow. Upscotch. Emma. Tim, Buddy. That night, okay. Favorite corner. He thought that should be the end, right?
We're drifting off to sleep. This should be a, a night story.
Yeah, I hope so.
Go to bed.
There we go. So he gave me a lot longer story than the first time I asked that question. So 3,338 words, and this cost $884 credit. That's very, very cheap. Very, very good. The amount of credit for the amount of words. Wow, kind of impressed here. That's good. So the Buddy, the Balloon, Bright Adventure. So this first draft and the original one that I have here, which is shorter by, see, the first one I got is 1,260 words. So it's kind of a very, very same question, exactly the same question. So you can have fun with first draft, asking the same question 2 or 3 times and get three, 4 different story, never the same. So have fun with that. So this is another way to get your little question, go through and get an idea of a story if you don't have one, or you just want to have on block here. You can see here in the side what I did after that. Because John is telling me, says, you have anything in your story Bible? Well, at that time, I got the chat one with some idea. And then I did the first draft and got some idea. How did I get my idea? Because I can go and break my head on this, or for me, I use what I call my story in reverse. So what I did, basically, like this one here, if I take this one, I go in my plugin, and I have my story in reverse. This is one of, this is an old one that I did like a year and a half ago, I think, John.
Yeah.
And then
right before we had the ability to import a novel.
Yeah, exactly. So it was very, very useful for many, many people. So basically, it's going to take the story that has been written or your story. If you write your story, copy and paste and bring it in here, and you ask for my story in reverse, it's going to read your story and it's going to give you your story Bible. It's going to give you the genre in 40 words. It's going to give you the writing style in 40 words. It's going to give you about a 800 words synopsis. And we should give our character list. So Buddy, his physical appearance, his language, his origin, details. Emma, same thing. Tim, Upscotch, Mr. Snuggle. Sunny, Twinkle, Mr. Fluff. Spitzer, Lily, and a story outline. I will have, oh, okay, it's not done. Good. Good, because the last one I did, it did not finish the chapter outline. It still I have to go back, check my my plugin and see if I can add words so it can finish the story outline, but it gave me a story outline that I can probably bring inside. Which one of your plugin would you put it inside so you can finish it?
Just use Auto-Write, I guess. Stick it into a regular chat, sorry, a document, and then just at the very end, hit write. I might use something expensive like Opus 4.1, just because it'll.
So what
be
John
snazzy.
says here is you copy it, you go here and you create a new blank document. And you can do that with anything that you write, by the way. So you take this, you go at the end, and you can use the auto-write. So what would you put in the auto-write? Would you go inside here and ask for a few questions first?
Oh, good question. I'm not sure. I think I might ask for the next books in the series. It looks like it hit all the chapters. Is that correct?
Not sure if it hit all the chapter because there was no chapter. It just built from the story.
Okay, if we don't think it's finished, then I might just leave it empty and let it write whatever it's going to write.
All right, so auto-write?
Yeah.
So John says we go with autocomplete with magic. So basically we put it at the end of friendship and we click auto-write and it should give us the end of our chapter if it's not finished. Let's see what it's going to do for us. During that time, do we have any question?
Someone asked what insert does.
So insert basically will take it because I took it from another one. So I wanted to bring it into a blank document. But if you just go insert, and I will show you right after this is finished writing. Let's see what it's doing here. Friendship Buddy fell the morning. You could see the strip. It's not doing a finishing, does it? No, it's not doing it. It's basically writing a story from here. So what I would do here is finish my outline. Let's see what it's going to do with that.
Oh, did you do an expand on that? What did you?
No, I just asked to finish my outline, but it's not doing it. So maybe we should just do an expand.
Yeah, do an expand. I'll finish my outline.
There we go. So with the expand, with the demand finish my outline, it's finishing the outline. And it's giving me even an epilogue. So here, what I would do, so the magic friendship. So I will just simply take this insert here that you were asking for. You click on it. It's going to bring it here. And what I would do here, because it's a continuity of the chapter 10, Body Reflect, that should be the same thing. So I'm going to simply remove this part. So body reflection, funny reflection of body learn. All right, so I don't need this part because it did add it up. Okay. So now I have a full outline and an epilogue with my story. So you can tell that right here you have your chapter book for the next version of this story, or you can use this for each image that you want to do if you do a image book. So let's go back to this here. So now you know how to reverse your story and get this information. So what I did with this information, I went and built up my story Bible. But before I go there, I'm going to show you what's the next thing I did, because this is basically going to the next part of the story. Where is my... So Buddy's balloon is here. That's a result. That's the result of the reverse. The same thing that I did earlier or yesterday that we just did together. And then we have the scene by scene. All right, so now let's go to the result of this first draft and how I did work with that. So I'm going out and I'm going to go in my note number 2, which is the scene by scene outline. So our little Benny story, I went and asked for, so I got my first draft here, which is our Benny story in a high cloud. So we have 2,000 words and more. Then I started, says, okay, I like the story. I went and I read the whole thing. Says, okay, let's get some picture into that. So here I use John prompt, so image prompt generator, which give me 2 prompts. I can bring the longest one into a different program or use the shorter one and get Sudowrite to give me a picture. So that picture is here. So that would be my book cover picture that I would use for that story. And then for each part, because this is too long for a small book for children, that's where you have to go in and reduce everything. You can bring in ChatGPT, or like I said, sorry, very, very soon we're going to have that edit program, which will be right here, where we can reduce the story to a shorter story. There's many, many ways to go. So I'm just using one workflow for today, because if I show you all the workflow, we're going to be here for a week. So this is the first story, and that's the first image that I got. This is a different image that I got, but for chapter 1 of that, basically, story. Let me see, did I have the... So here, the scene for that. So this is the whole story, the 2,000 words. So Lila, the little cloud, float happily in the sky. So you can tell there's a change in names. I forgot to change the name of the thing, but this is basically Benny's journey friendship is going to be basically like a series of stories. So here we have Lila, the little cloud, float happily in the sky, watching the world below. She loved to see the flower bloom and the river flow. So here we have that little cloud. Then for the next part of the next scene, I did the same thing. I did another prompt, give me that, and it gave me this part. So this is basically 2 different images to show you. One was whimsical, one is less whimsical. It may give you choice on what you want to use for your story. But it's an idea that you can use. Then this one is for the second part, which basically our little cloud is coming to Earth and is talking to the frog. The frog says, I'm not happy because there's no water, it's too hot. The flowers, the lilac, and all those little flowers are dropping down. The frog says, I'm in the mud and I'm dry out. And you can see the water kind of floating towards the sky instead of staying in stream of river. So I thought it was a very cute little picture, maybe not as a cloudy looking guy, but that's what they give me for. And as you can say, you can do it more than one time. It's going to give you different image for that too. So that gives you the second story, the second image for that story, according to our little prompt over here. All right. So the third one is Lila decide to gather her cloud friends to create rain. They all work together, forming a big dark cloud. So again, I got the prompt and I got she's gathering all her friends to make dark clouds and making rain on the little village so that everybody in the bottoms are happy. And then we have As Lila and her friend release the rain, the flower perk up and the river fill with water again. Everyone below rejoice. So now they're dancing in the water in the middle of the village. And then in the last one is Lila proud of her effort and learn that even cloud, little cloud, can make big difference. And then we got the last one there. So they're still having fun. We had the little frog in the middle, and then in the story, basically the cloud come and talk with the frog at the bottom. And then you can have fun that way, just getting little image where they belong. Instead of having the word scenes all the time, you just take this off and you use this image and change the image that they all match up. I didn't go too deep in it to get everything to match up for the story today, but you get the idea on how to work it out. Any questions so far? How are we doing in the question, John?
I think we're mostly caught up. Someone says, can you use different picture styles like cartoon?
Yes.
So people have some questions about the images and how do you make images.
All right, so let's see if we can fix the last one because I find it a bit. So here the last one, you take the text, which is the last scene. And what I do is I highlight it like that. And I go in the plugin and I have that little camera here, image prompt generator. And here you can say you want it more children, how would I say? Children picture book style. You can see watercolor.
They're actually like cartoon, if that was any sense.
And cartoon style. That's what it's going to give us with that. You just click go. It's going to read that and it's going to give you a prompt on that. Then I go back during his working. Go back and I make space for that image. I'm going to wait for this to finish. We used to have, we could highlight a lot of words and get visualized directly. So basically I was going to put my little prompt over here. So create a heartwarming children fantasy scene featuring fluffy cloud above a vibrant village battered in golden morning light. The clean blue sky, old, playful baby cloud, while, okay. So let's see if it's going to work out. So I copy this, CTRL-K, CTRL-C, I pass it here, then I highlight it again. So I pass it inside the story, highlight it, go back in my plugin, all the way down, you have visualize. All the way down the plugin. Click visualize. It's going to read the description and it's going to give us a picture. And we did use watercolor and cartoon style. Reminiscence of a Studio Ghibli with a soft brush stroke for sparkling leaves and radiant raindrop. Capture nurturing atmosphere from the elevated perspective, emphasizing themes or of friendship. All right, not very, maybe a little bit. So what I do here, I put insert because I don't want this to show up in my book. Insert. And we have maybe a bit cartoony. It's a bit different. It's different. It's not the cartoony maybe the person was looking for. So you can see it even bigger here. So that give you an idea. So it's different watercolor base, a little bit cartoony because these are younger cartoon, not the like superhero kind of cartoon. Does that answer the question on how to work out the image?
I think it's great. And people are saying the images are looking really nice.
Perfect. Thanks to John and his little prompt there. It's great. All right, so this is how we do a little book with image. And like I said, you go and reduce the amount of words. So if you just ask to reduce, you can probably do highlight a series of paragraphs. Don't remove your dialogue. Those are the most important one. And ask chat here. We should have one which says reduce instead of expand. So you go here and you ask to reduce for picture book. So let's see what it's going to do. Reduce for children age 3 to 5. Sure. Copy that in case it works. It's going to cross that off. I probably should have put more. I think it carried that very well. That would be better inside the other one when we ask for reduce at 50%. Let's see what it's going to do with that. Or maybe I should ask inside ChatGPT and not in the other one.
Maybe it doesn't understand what you're asking it to reduce.
Yeah, maybe not. I will ask into the other one. Right now, it's not doing anything. Oh, I broke Sudowrite again. Like it's frozen there. Let's refresh. I do that a few times. We got a problem here. Okay, so Z. Yeah, I kind of lost that. Let's see here if it's going to do it with that. Quick chat. Quick chat. Reduce at 50% for children book. So did they reduce really? We have 104 words highlighted. The copy, how many words we have here? Doesn't see in the bottom. Can you reduce, but not by 50%, does it? Well, not too far. 69 words instead of 100 and some. So that kind of work. So that's good to know. So here the little message you can ask. Oh, that's not it. So
Well, you see that you have a word like getting instead of gathering. So it is making it. It's giving you words that are easier to read.
Yeah. So basically, reduce the 100 and some 104 to 69 words. So it did reduce. Maybe not fully 50%, but it did. So basically, it's the same kind of prompt I have inside the edit in Sudowrite, and it reduced my story by the percentage I asked for. So here's a way to reduce your story and eventually to become a picture book. So any question on the picture book? This is a way to work with. It's not something which you just click your finger and it's going to happen, because Sudowrite is meant to write chapter books and big one. So any question before I get to the second one, which is supposed to write longer story?
I think we're good. Let's go to the longer stories.
All right. So step 3. So we had the first one there, scene by scene. Step 3, it's called the 3-act structure. So that's all the information. That's this, reversing the 3-act structure is here. I should have gone and deleted this thing, but I did not. So the 3-act structure prompts, best for early chapter books and middle grade. The prompt, you are a skilled children author, write target count, so you can put how many words you want. Your word story for children age, put the age there, using a clear 3-act structure with beat below. Keep the tone engaging, descriptive, age appropriate, show emotion through action, not explanation. And he explained the Act 1 setup is 25%. The opening, image that set the tone to introduce the world, introduce the main character, their goal, their flaw, and sitting incident that disrupt their normal life. The Act 2, the adventure and the conflict is 50% of the book. First challenge that forced the character to act. Midpoint, twist, or revelation that changed the stake. Darkness moment, the character feels like they can't succeed. In the Act 3, that's our resolution. 25% of the book or the story is here. So the climax, the biggest test of courage or problem solving. Resolution show how the character has changed or grow. Closing image that mirror the opening in a satisfying way. So what that look like? Now, this is where, remember when we did our reverse prompt, we got our genre. This is a heartwarming children's fantasy story that focuses on friendship, overcoming loneliness, and self-discovery. It's incorporating magical element, a talking balloon, within a realistic setting to deliver positive social emotion lesson and for young reader. The writing style. Your writing style is gentle and descriptive with simple yet evocative language accessible to young reader. You employ warm imagery, direct dialogue, and nurturing narrative voice that create a safe, encouraging atmosphere while addressing emotional challenge. Then we have our little synopsis that we got in our reverse my story. And then we have our character, which the character, I didn't go and use the reverse engine. I just go and generate the character right here because it has all the information it needs to do it. So it did Benny, Lily, the yellow duck balloon, the red apple balloon, the purple star balloon, Rudy, the festival balloons, and the art festival balloon.
Now, you also had your characters listed in your reverse outline.
Yes.
Sorry, reverse story Bible. You could possibly use that as just a copy and paste in terms of importing characters.
Yeah, basically you can go, you highlight all those, and I believe I did it also in one of them because you can see I have a copy. I have the art festival, which I don't think that you would have gone and get it the other way, which we have here. So one thing that I did is basically import. I passed all the character, which we have 8, and I clicked import. I won't do it because it will take too long to get through, and we're already at 251, and I still have a lot to show you. So basically you do that, and it's giving you the same list that we have here. Sounds good?
Great.
Perfect. Then I did also the world building. So in the world building, I did go and ask for, which one did I ask? Fantasy. All right. I have my own cards for children books. How would that work? World building, you can go and customize here. When you click on customize, you can write anything you want here and customize your own card. I already customized my card. So I have one which is called fantasy because it's a fantasy story. So I went and looked for my fantasy card, which sometimes even I have children, journal. Well, I missed it, right? Where is it? Team, style, fantasy. So this card's giving me a lot of information on my story because it's all stuck up like that. So real description, create a vivid and distinctive realm. Each realm should have its own unique geography, culture, floral, and fauna. For example, the realm of the ether. So I have some information, twilight with bioluminescence. The other thing I asked for is the history and the lore. Develop a rich backstory for each realm, including the ancient myth, legends, and things like that. So I want to get more information to make the story more fun for the children. Is there a magical system in it? So define a clear rules and limitation for the magic, if there's magic. And how does it work? Who can wield it? So this is one of the cards that I built inside.
So wait, there's you have 300 words and these labels for your traits, and you're using those 300 words to essentially give it information that it can use almost like a prompt for how to fill out that trait. Great.
So, and that looked like this. So the story takes place in a charming town where the ordinary and the magical blend seamlessly, while appearing like any other small town with its square, bakery, and park. It harbors special enchantment that bring balloon to life. The town is known for its particular buoyant atmosphere where colorful balloon friends float gracefully above cobblestone street and between flowering trees, etc. So that gave me nice information on how to get the story even more fun to read for the children. So this is one of the cards I like to use for children. Then here I have one which is called middle grade. That one is giving me the name of the world if we change the name of the world. So I asked the AI, so, do you think the name of that story is good? If not, give me another name. So the Balloon Town Tale. The setting was the word called Balloon Town. Then it's giving me 5 important places in that world. So the town square, the Whispering Park, the Rainbow Bakery, the Friendship Hill, and the Festival Garden. So these are questions that I develop over time, and it's not for all the same story. So some of the stuff I'm going to look at says, well, that has nothing to do with that story. But most of the time, the AI is pretty good in getting the information based on the story, which is inside the synopsis and everything. So all that information is great to have, and it's going to get you a much better outcome when you do your prose. Then the item, obviously, we have the yellow balloon, the red balloon, and all the balloon there. The culture, they have that festival. More items, so the art festival balloon, and the setting. So all the same setting we have inside that middle grade here, where it's giving me a lot of information. I can go get that information, says, okay, I want more about that art festival, the park, the bakery, the town, and the art festival. So all these things you can develop on your own time and figure it out for your story. But I find that world building is giving me beautiful stories and much more. You can relate to them, because you go and do a lot of work on your story Bible before you get the story written with the AI. Any question on my world building?
I think it's great to use the world building. It really does provide a little bit more of a rich background for the AI when it's making up stuff. It doesn't have to make up as much. It has other things to draw on.
Okay. So the 3-act adventure. So what this part here I did. This here I copied all that. This is basically your outline structure for that story. So I copied the whole item here because this is a 3-act structure prompt for the world, that the outline, sorry. In the outline, basically, because this one is already done, that's what I did. I used that 3-act version. How do I do that if I don't want to delete it? It's very hard if you don't want to delete it. So basically, instead of generate chapter, I'm going to blank one to show you. So this way it's a lot easier. So I'm going to create a new one just to show you how to bring your own outline inside Sudowrite. So you go into outline like this, and you can see here, so you have generate novel outline, drop down, because basically these are for big chapter books. But you have the custom one here. And in the custom one, that's where I put my information about my 3-act structure prompt. Best for early chapter book and middle grade, the prompt, So obviously here you will have to go and change the number of words. So let's see, we'll go for 2000 words count story. Age range, it's 5 to 8 for that. 5 to 8. Using a clear act 3, 25% opening, main character. So the main character is, what's the name of our main character? Anyone remember?
Buddy or Benny?
No, Benny is the first story. This one is the second story, but that's okay.
I think it's Buddy. Buddy or Tim. Buddy's the balloon. Tim is
All right, let's put Buddy for the fun of it.
Buddy.
Thank you. Then it's giving us all those percentage, So use outline. Now it's not going to do anything, or it's probably going to give me an outline out of nothing, because there's nothing in this, there's nothing in the synopsis, there's nothing anywhere else. And then you can change if you want the first person POV, present tense, you can do it here. Then you click customize, and then it's going to write your outline. Any question on importing your outline? Custom outline inside this. Doing good?
Yeah, no, this is good. So that's something people don't know about. is that you can make this custom outline.
Yeah, the custom outline. Because there's no like picture book outline. There's no, you have to bring your own. All right, so let's go back to our tree story. So I did that and I got this. So I got my outline here, which has my Benny Lonely World, the floating observer. So it's Benny. So it wasn't the body, it's Benny. And then Lily, the little girl, the shy little balloon in the park, Rudy and the Rainbow Bakery, the festival preparation. So you have the 3-act outline for the picture book for the age, the appropriate version of that story. So what I did here, instead of having chapter by chapter, because remember, we don't want a very long story. We don't want a full chapter. We want smaller stories here. So what I did here is I copy my outline. Then I went to an empty version here, or you can ask for the first chapter, or there's so many ways to go about it. One thing that I showed John not too long ago is I create another, I add a chapter and I put everything in here. Then I go on the little 3 dots and I say create chapter 8. Now all the story is inside.
So do you see what she's doing? She's taking the full outline, copying it and sticking it into its single chapter, and then linking it to a new document, and now using it as the scenes for that chapter or chapter book, all written in a single document.
Yeah. Then you just take, you keep your chapter 1 with the title, that you remove it, because this is becoming your first scene. You keep your chapter titles, you just remove those act, because that's, if not, it's going to try to write something on the act, and it will read a bit funny. So remove the act. And these become your scenes. All right, so I have 7 scenes, and then at that point, I'm kind of ready to write. But what I do now is I go back in here. That was to show you how that works. I go here, and remember that information that I asked about the 25, So you are a professional children book author. Write a 4,000-word story for children aged 8 to 10. Use first-person point of view and past tense. Follow the 3-act structure with the beat below, or above, I should say. Keep the tone adventurous, playful, full of sensory detail. Show emotion through what the narrator sees, hears, and feels. And all the information here, because now we have a bit more information in this prompt that I asked for. And I got a few demand at the end of it. A closing image, max in the library. So how did I got this here? That's an example that I asked ChatGPT to give me. So we have a hook, an introduction, and the incitement of the, so this is example for the story. Maybe I did write that one a bit too fast, but anyway, is the guy is in the library, and where is all those?
So you'll see that the AI is really forgiving in terms of how you write the instructions that are more like instructions, like extra instructions. Even the scenes themselves, they can be written in any person. Sometimes third person works better. Even if you're writing in first person down below, the ability to say that I'm writing in first person, present tense, this character is my protagonist, allows you to sort of force it into doing that, and it fixes a lot of it's very forgiving. If you say below and it's really above, it'll probably figure it out.
Yeah. What's interesting is this story, by changing the outline and telling the AI it's about a different age group, it did go and change quite a bit about the story. So there's no more balloon in that story. They just remove the balloon and change it for people. So everything is still based on the same start story. I didn't change anything inside my synopsis. It was all about the balloon, the style, the synopsis, and the character. And the interesting thing is by changing the age group and the outline setup, that's what they gave me. And I thought was very interesting that from the same startup, I got a totally different, similar, but no balloon in it. They changed the balloon for people.
So what model did you use to generate this one? Do you have a favorite model for kids' books?
I tried the one that everyone is trying. I tried the Muse, didn't like the result. So I went back into Excellent. And that's the one who actually follow up much, much better. There is a few of them that I did inside the Muse. Where is it? I think it's that one. I did use the Muse scene by scene. See that one, I use Muse. And I use Muse, it was at 10, very creative. I know it goes back by itself down. So I use 10, very creative, to get this one without the little cloud for the picture book. And it did that 2,000 words story. And then for the other one, when it's older kids, that's where I switched to Excellent because I didn't like the result of the first story. So I choose the Excellent for that one. So read your story. You got to read what come out of it and make decision on what you want with it. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Already past the hours. Just if you have to go, I thank you very much for being with me today. I will show you the chapter book version also. You're going to receive an email at the top of the hour, which has probably already been sent, to ask you how you felt about the class, if you learned something, and what you like to see in the future. So send me feedback and tell me what you love about the class. I will read it. So I will keep on going. So it's recorded, so you can be able to look at it. So the last part of it is the number 4, the thematic and emotional arc outline. And this one is for chapter books. So this one I had a bit more fun with it by changing it a couple of times. So we have our previous everything that was based on the balloon and the 3 act, which become a library story. And again, with the same synopsis, the same character, the same world building, by changing this outline, which is called the thematic and emotional arc prompt. So the prompt is, you are a children author who write meaningful, emotional, rich story, write target words, and the age group, which now we have 8 to 13 about, 8, 12, 13. And this is the how you go about this one. The emotion 1 is the curiosity. The emotion 2 is excitement. 3 is the conflict and frustration. The emotion 4 is the hope. The emotion 5 is the joy. And the 6 is reflection. You could call that step 1 or act 1, act 2, or chapter 1, chapter 2. Just the AI just called them emotion for that story. So copy or fill your favorite prompt. So basically here, the prompt was, you are a professional children author who write meaningful, emotional, rich story, chapter book, middle grade, 7 to 12, 5 to 50,000 words, more developed character, arc, and dialogue. Use a third-person limited point of view and past tense. Follow the emotional arc below exactly using sensory details, playful metaphor, and age-appropriate dialogue. The tone should be warm and magical and inspired. So, and here it's giving us a bit of idea of a story which will be based on that kind of outline for that kind of story. So what I did, This is basically the first part of it. So I did go and ask for the outline. And the outline was based on that thematic emotion one, which should be in our notes. Because I know I put the outline. Where is that outline here? The thematic one, scenes, thematic. So basically I did put that information inside the outline to get it to work. Is that what I did? No, I used the heroes one for that one. So let's see if I can. I did play with it last night and I should not have. Sorry about that. So I did go and use the hero journey or the story circle, which is good for chapter book for children. So this is what I did here. And that's what it gave me. So we changed the name a bit of some of the people. So we have Lily, the magical connection, the perfectionist parade captain, the shy balloon in the park. Do I have the right one, or is it the second version that I asked for? Because I did not like that version, which gave me this here. I want to see that part. Why we cannot see it? Because I changed the outline, we cannot see it. Okay, so one thing I should have done is copy my original outline. It should be somewhere. Normally I keep it. Rewrite the outline. So what I did is that I didn't keep it for some reason. I will find it later. It should be in here though. Wait. If you lose something, you're not supposed to lose anything in Sudowrite. You go in that little history. So now we have Benny Lonely World. So this is the original outline, which I got with the story circle. Very, very short one. All right. So these are the one that I work with. Let's see what this one's going to give us. That one is empty. So the same thing. So one of them is empty and the other one is not. So on the 9, which I work on it a bit more, I just get a bit of expansion to it. But that's where it is. Okay, good. So this is the original outline, which was there. So I got chapter by chapter on this one. So I did get my outline and I said generate scenes. And in the scenes here, I went down inside my extra instructions. You are the professional children author who write meaningful, emotional, the age group. And here, as you can see, I removed that example of story. And I just put down, here's the emotion or the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for each chapter that you need the curiosity, excitement, conflict, hope, joy, and reflection. And it gave me a chapter book. So I got the whole book written here with the image. That one is 3,400 for the chapter 1, which is fairly long. And the chapter 2 is 3,335. You can tell that we are back on our balloons. So this one kept the balloon story. A lot of balloon. The story is fairly much longer. It's a chapter book. So yeah, I go through and I read it and I didn't like the result. I says, okay, we have to rewrite this. So what I did, I says, okay, rewrite that outline. So I went into the outline again. And where's my prompt for this? I did have a prompt. Where is it? When I put it there, it's gone. Interesting. And not in the same time because I really like to have it back. So what I did go in and ask for a rewrite. Let's see if I put it somewhere else here in my information. Thematic tree scene, extra. No, I thought I would try to figure out where I put it because I know I put it somewhere, the information on that rewrite the outline, because I did ask to rewrite the outline in a more imaginative way and a few other things. And sorry about that, I lost my prompt. Okay. Anyway, it gave me a much better outline, and I did like better what came out of it. It's a bit longer too. It has a nicer finish, and it's not more together on that one. And I just started to rewrite it here. So I did take the chapter 1, and I got the information here. So the role of the blue probe. I went and got some question through ChatGPT. It says, I don't like the story. I need more twists, more fun for the children and things like that. And I had the conversation with ChatGPT to bring inside this story. So let me see if I can find it. This is the story that I don't like. One-liner. First, the children wrote to the right about a little girl named Manon. Nope, that's not it. It's way down because it's the last thing I did. So emotional, all 3 system, 3 act, feeling, first bedtime story. Where did I put it? Analysis, comparison, greetings, story outline review. Okay, that's the one here. So I got a guardrail and things like that. Age appropriate chapter. Where's my little question I asked? So this is the original one that I said I brought in the outline, and I says, okay, fix that for me because I really don't like. So can you look at this outline and tell me if the story and the flow are well written for 8 to 13 years old? And there it says, short answer, the art is in the right place, but as it is read more like an early chapter book, 6 to 9. And even long picture book outline 8 to 13 through middle grade. You'll want clearer stake, a stronger extra plot, and a real climax, not just a reflective warm-up. So from there, I read everything that he gave me, and I did ask this, can you give me the best ghostwriter for that story and the best reader persona? The best ghostwriter is basically a style of writing that you can get and tell the AI, base yourself on this to rewrite that story. And I did ask the best persona for that. So you give me 2 groups here in the best persona, the sensitive age 7-10, or the quick specific, the reader, second buyer, gateway, the teacher, librarian, grade 2 to 4. So it gave me some very interesting information here on that. Then I says, okay, I kind of not exactly something I can put in in Sudowrite and get something written properly. So I said, can you write the detailed ghostwriter and that the AI can use and base on writing that story? So then he gave me the ghostwriter persona, blue and brave. So that I read and I says, this is more like it. I copy that, the whole persona or that ghostwriter. Then I went inside Sudowrite. I went into my world building. And that's for the advanced user. I have a ghostwriter card. I went down. So I got my ghostwriter here. And I insert the information that ChatGPT gave me based for my story with all the twists and turns for that story. It says, perfect, now I have my ghostwriter. I did the same thing for the reader. So, gotcha. Here's a plug and play reader persona for your AI or ghostwriter can use as a North Star while drafting this book. So early chapter 7-9, lower middle grade 8-11, set the toggle to the top and go. So you can go and delete that stuff if you want to leave it there, doesn't make a big difference. And it gave me quite a bit of information on how the reader will do with that story. And that's where I stopped. I said, now we're going into a very deep information on how to write a chapter book. And we're already over an hour and 20 minutes. So that's where I kind of stopped yesterday. I got my first chapter written after I got all that information in. I did ask for the scene to be generated. I read the scene. And then here in my extra instruction, I says, okay, here's the role. Basically, I repeat a bit on that ghostwriter, but here it says use ghostwriter style, which is inside the world building. And for the reader, say write for the RP, basically my reader persona, so he knows where to get it. And then project the toggle information, the number of words I want for this chapter, which he did way over. All the little information that I thought important, maybe I will have to go and remove some. And then that's what it gave me. What I like, it did give me a very nice image for that. And one of the information inside my information here is I ask at the bottom a place, I ask for an image and some information on POV, and I want to show you what that did in the bottom. Because it's giving me all the information I want for the scene point of view, the titles I was recorded at the top. And at the bottom, it gave me, there was a prompt at the bottom. So let's go get the prompt so you can see what I'm talking about. Is it going on this one? Before I put the image. That's what it gave me at the bottom. Illustration note, a blue star speckled balloon and a caludrin balloon with silver star facing each other on a bench in a golden afternoon light with whispered hello floating between them. Well, I don't see the hello, but that's the image that I got from visuals. Basically, I highlight this and ask directly the visualization of that little sentence. And I think I did ask for both of them because there's a visualize there. That's the visualize that we see, that one here. And then the same thing with, that one is for the main book. So I did ask for two. This one is at the bottom of the story. And then I used John by highlighting the whole chapter. And I got this one for if I want to have a picture at the start of my story for each chapter. So that was very interesting that he answered and gave me that. I really like the way it's written. There's a lot more dialogue, short dialogue. Go in and read all of them. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good story to work with and possibly publish. So on that, I think I will ask if you have questions. And say thank you for staying all the way to the end of my babbling. Any question? No.
So we're getting a lot of thank yous, and I would also say thank you. This has been a great class together, put together by Manon.
Perfect. Well, on this, I will simply stop this here. So in all the story you're going to write, guys, don't forget the winner are the children. So that's the first people to look at is them. So thank you for playing. Until next time on this, I thank you again. My name is Manon Doucette. You can find me on the YouTube. I will put it up, and I will be putting the YouTube on the middle grade inside the Discord.
In a colorful park where the children play, live Benny the balloon, bright blue all day. He floated so high but felt lonely inside, wishing for friends who could join in his ride. One breezy morning, oh what a surprise, a gust of the wind lifted Benny to the skies. But then it turned tricky, he got stuck in a tree. Feeling quite scared, oh dear, what will be? Then came some squirrels with a giggle and cheer. Don't worry, dear Benny, we'll get you down here. They climbed up so bravely and gave him a push. With teamwork and laughter, they made quite the rush. Once free in the air, Benny shared all his tales of flying so high over hills and through trails. The squirrels listened closely, their eyes open wide, as Benny painted pictures of worlds far and wide. Through helping each other and sharing their fun, Benny found friendship had finally begun. Now every day's magic with friends by his side, in their bright little park where true hearts never hide. Then came some squirrels with a giggle and cheer. Don't worry, dear Benny, we'll get you down here. They climbed up so bravely and gave him a push. With teamwork and laughter, they made quite the